Hello friends, I hope you like my ninth video that is about validation master plan. If you are having any question, you can ask me in the comment. So in this video we will discuss about the design and configuration specification. So friends, my YouTube channel name is Pharma Quality, so please view, like, comment and subscribe my channel to get the knowledge about the pharma quality standard and practices. So now in this slide we will discuss about what is system design configuration specification. So the system design specification is a document that contains all the requirement constraints, that means any control or limitation and specification that a new product must adhere to. So it should be a clear list with detailed information outlining every aspect of design brief and fulfill the SMART criteria. That is your design specification configuration must be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic and testable. The configuration specification details the configuration parameter and how these settings address the requirement mentioned in the URS. So the configuration of the product must be done as per the requirement which is mentioned in the URS. So next is configuration specification includes the configuration items for the hardware and software, operating system, interface and data for the implementation of the system. So next is vendor or supplier develop and provide the design configuration specification to project team for review and approval. So once the supplier develops the design specification configuration, then it will reviewed by the team to verify each requirement as per the customer requirement. Now we will discuss the practical approach to write a design configuration specification. So first point is purpose. So here we need to describe about the goal of design configuration specification for which software and system the design specification configuration is required. So next is scope. Here we need to define about the scope of design configuration specification which should cover all the specifications such as security and regulatory specification, and also the technical specification and software functionality specification for the respective software and system. So the next is functional and technical design specification. So here we need to define about the business process and process flow, system architecture, hardware and software design specification and system policy. So now in this slide we will discuss about the business process flow and system architecture. So for example, if you are preparing the design configuration specification, then we need to discuss about the software name and version number. So for example, Chromium software with version number 7.3.1. So such a way we need to define. Next is describe about the software will connect which type of instrument. For example, Chromium software will connect to operate the instrument such as HPLC, GC, etc. So we need to define like that. Next, we need to define about the data storage and user management. That is, the data generated from the instrument shall be stored on the server and common user management policies shall be applied in a centralized Chromium network. Next, we need to define the strategy for the software installation, such as installation will be done at different site server and centralized server. So we need to define the details about it. Next, we need to define about the details of system controlling. That is, all the instrument will be connected to client PC and this client PC will be connected to centralized server and user can access the software through client PC and remote PC. So based on the organizational requirement, we need to define all the details. So now in this slide we will discuss about the operational process flow. That is, how will be the overall process flow. So the first one is controller server. This is the actually centralized server which manages the software license policy and hosts the master information about the installed software at different sites. So then through the local area network, domain control will link with the centralized data vault server like this, and then centralized file server, then centralized terminal server, and centralized database server. So in the data vault server, all the sequence, method, workflows including Windows file will be saved, and in the file server, raw data such as chromatographic data will be stored. And through the terminal server, other multiple client system can connect it through the local area network without using any kind of modem connection. And in the database server, it actually hosts the Oracle or SQL database, which is used as the storage container from a Chromium data vault. So now through the wide area network, these server will connect to the client PC at site. So at the site there will be the multiple local switches, and with the using of these switches network, individual client PC will connect, and from that client PC respective instrument, that is HPLC or GC instrument, will connect. So here you can see in the client PC, all the sequence prepared in the software will save to the client data vault, and data generated by the particular system will be transferred to the directly to the database server. If the network is not available at the time of system running, then network failure mode get activated, and for temporary basis the data will be stored at client system, and after resuming the network, that data will transfer to the database server. Actually network failure protection is the, it is a kind of a feature which is provided in the server based software like Chromium or Empower software. So now in this slide we will discuss about the hardware design specification, that is what need to mention in the hardware design specification. So first one is the server type, that is here we need to mention about the type of server such as virtual server or web server or proxy server. So next one is the host name. So here we need to mention about the host name of PC. It is an identification number which is assigned by the IT team. So next is IP address. Here we need to mention about the IP address, that is called Internet Protocol address. Actually it is used to connect the server with the respective client PC. So next is make and model. Here we need to mention about the hardware make and model of the system. Next is hard disk. Here we need to mention about the the hard disk capacity, such as the minimum capacity should be like 250 GB or above as per the requirement. Next is RAM, that is random access memory. Here we need to define about the RAM capacity such as minimum 32 GB or above, which is as per the requirement. Next is processor name. So here we need to mention about the processor name such as Intel Core processor, Xenon, Intel Xenon processor, Pentium or Celeron processor. So in such a way we need to define about the hardware design specification. So in this slide we will discuss about the software design specification. That is what we need to mention in the software design specification. So first one is the system type. So here we need to mention about the type of system such as HMI, that is human machine interface, or IPC, that is industrial PC or normal PC. So the next is software name and version number. For example, Chromium software and 7.3.1 version number. Next is operating system. So such as we need to define about that Windows 10 or some other operating system. Next is database software such as SQL database. Next is user authentication mode, that is local user policy or LDAP policy. LDAP means lightweight directory access portal. If the LDAP policy is applied, then user authentication policy will be synced with window login policy. So next is user privilege matrix. It is inbuilt feature of software which is designed by the developer as per the functionality requirement. So we need to decide which privilege should be given to which group, and accordingly privilege matrix should be prepared and its details should be mentioned in the software design specification. Next is raw data type. Here we need to define the type of the data, that is encrypted, local or server database. Next is audit trail. We need to mention yes, that is audit trail feature for each activity should be recorded by the software. Next is data storage minimum capacity, that is 512 GB or above. So next is data storage path. Here we need to mention about the path of data, that is where all the data will be saved as per the respective drive available in the PC. Next is backup type. Here we need to mention about the auto or manual backup requirement. Generally auto backup perform in the industries. So now in this slide we will discuss about the system policy, that is what we need to mention in the system policy. So first one is the password expiry. So it can be mentioned based on the internal organization policy, for example 15 or 30 days. After this date password will be expired and system asks to set the new password. Next is auto lockout duration. It can be 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and after this time user access will be lockout. Next is number of invalid password attempts. It may be 2 or 3 or 5 based on the internal policy requirement, and after this password shall be locked out. Next is minimum password length. It can be 8 or 10 character based on the internal policy. So user must set their password with minimum 8 or 10 character length. Next is password complexity. It can be alphanumeric or special character, etc. So user must follow the complexity requirement to set their password. So friend, this is all about the design configuration specification, and in the next video we will discuss about the functional risk assessment deliverables. I hope this video will help to better understand what is design configuration specification. Thank you.